why don't we talk a little bit about how you started this water charity? Because for a lot of people, I think they find it very inspiring that somebody with physical differences would be able to see beyond, I mean, I don't think of it as a handicap, but some people might see it that way. See beyond what looks like physical limitations,
right,
and actually do something that makes so many other people's lives better. So can you share, I know it's a long story, but let's hear a little bit about how did you start this water charity? What inspired you to move and to reach out beyond your own life?
So there's a couple of things. As I talked about volunteering, I had already been volunteering in my faith community, in my church. I've been doing stuff, even as a child, I would save up my small allowances as a child, and I would send them to an organization, and they would send that money to buy clothing in the country of Philippines for the children there. And I remember I was always wanting to give back. I was always wanting to give. So in my mind, I said, I want something that my life is going to represent giving. I want my life to represent doing good. And I said, well, maybe in my, going through high school, the very end of high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. But I had another mentor. He's my science teacher. In my last year of high school, he really mentored me about what the world out there could be for me. And he taught me about being an engineer, what an engineer meant, what an engineer does. And he really helped me. So as I applied to go to engineering school. I became an engineer. But as I was going through engineering, I said, I still want to help people. I want to figure out a way. So my mind and kind of my thought process in my life is the gifts that I've been given. And gifts can be physical, but gifts can also be like your abilities, your things that you can do. I've been given a lot of gifts, and I always wanted to give those gifts back. So as I became an engineer, I became an expert in water. I've done a lot of stuff with water professionally all over North America. I developed technology that's used all over the world. And then I came to the point that I said, I want to start a charity to help people all over the world that don't have water. So as I started to travel around the world, one of the greatest needs I saw was that people didn't have water, clean drinking water. The other thing for me that I didn't know growing up here in Canada, I didn't know that children had to walk to get water. Women had to walk to get water. People had to do that. So I said, well, maybe I can use those professional talents to help start a charity for good and do something to help people for good. And it's taking who I am, it's taking everything of my loves and my passions, my education, my giftings, and all of those things, and then giving them away. And to me, this is what this is about. I figured out a way to give this away to the world, and I created this charity to help people with clean water. So that's the short story. Now, when I told this story to people, just like sitting beside you, Anita, I would sit down for coffee with people. And this is one of the things I encourage people to do. If you have things that you're passionate about, you have things that you love doing, tell people. Even if they're going to laugh at you, even if they're not going to like what you say, even if you might get rejected, just tell people. Because when you do find the people that love what you're going to do, they're going to want to join you and be part of it. So that is how I started the organization. I just went around the world, talking to people about what I want to do. And I found like-minded people, and we formed the organization. So I encourage you, don't be shy to share what you're passionate about, what your loves are, and help to share that.